Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the CooYoo Quantum AL TV flashlight that I got from GearBest. I feel like we're living in the golden age of flashlights because it wasn't too long ago when powerful flashlights meant large flashlights. And it's amazing that, you know, in these days, in what I think is the golden age of flashlights, you could get 130 lumens in this little keychain flashlight. I mean, really, look at the difference. And maybe about 30-40 years ago, this is almost about the size of what a bulb would be. I don't know. I might be exaggerating just a little teeny bit. Whoops. Anyway, what makes this a standout flashlight is that it's 130 lumens and it's rechargeable, and this is perfect for EDC, for those of you who might be sensitive to carrying around weight or stuff on your belt. You don't want to look like Batman with a bat belt. You know, I'm Batman. But this is rechargeable. It's amazing, and I forgot to tell you how much it cost. It's only 21 bucks. So if you are interested in this flashlight at any time, I had provided a link below in the description box below. For those of you who follow my channel, you might say, you know what, you did review a CooYoo Quantum flashlight a while ago. Yes, I did, and you have a very good memory, and I congratulate you. It was a brass version, so this one is a little bit different because this model is cheaper because it's made out of aluminum. It's the more standard black knurling type of finish and body instead of the little more expensive brass versions or titanium or the other exotic metals. This is a more ordinary down-to-earth keychain flashlight that's only 21 bucks. So let's take a close look. So this is the packaging that it came in, AL version. Comes in a couple of different colors. This is the black version. It also comes in blue, gold, red, and gray. So whatever your desired color is, it's there. I already opened this up because I wanted to test it. I wanted to try it out, make sure it was good, worth your money, as well as my time. So here's the instructions. You have what appears to be Chinese on one side, and we have English on the other. You definitely need to have your glasses on. Very small print, but you know, you got to get everything into this small packet, so I sort of understand. There is a very, very informative packaging here with, you know, different sizes, weights of the product, all the different things that you would expect in a high quality flashlight. When you go into the store and buy, you know, a Gerber flashlight or the more expensive ones, you see information like this. So this is not, you know, some cheap little flashlight, although it could be construed as that because it's so tiny. 130 lumens, USB rechargeable right there. It is water resistant, and you have a 1 hour charging time. That's kind of important because I don't think I had that in my notes. More features on the back, and we're going to go over all of this. Also in the flashlight, or in the packaging, there was this little caution thing that says, you know what, you need to open it up and take the little protective sheet out, which I already did. It was like a little black round sheet. Whoops, I took off the head, which is the wrong end. We'll leave that off for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and remove the base. By the way, I connected the keychain and ring. All this was also included, this metal chain and the little keychain ring. I put that on here before the review. So anyway, what I had to do is, it doesn't work when it first comes. You have to take this cap off, and there's a little black plastic sheet that you got to remove so the battery can make contact with it, or it's not going to work. Also in the packaging were these two little extra O-rings, which is good because they are kind of small and fragile, but that's what keeps this flashlight waterproof. So this flashlight is powered by this teeny little battery. I need to zoom in because, you know, this is so small it's like very hard to see. But this battery is a 100 milliamp hour 10180 rechargeable battery. Very, very tiny. And you're like, how am I going to recharge this? It's so tiny. I don't have a charger that can do that. Well, you're lucky because this is not only just a flashlight, but it's a charger. I'm going to go ahead and pop this in here, and I'm going to show you how this device charges. By the way, you have an O-ring right there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. The O-ring is sort of right butted up against here. So that's what's going to keep the bottom or the battery compartment waterproof. You can see how it tucked underneath the cap there. And there's another O-ring right here. But before we put the head on, I want you to take notice of the micro USB right there, sort of in the threads. Kind of neat. So the way that you would charge this, you would plug in a USB cable that's plugged into a charger, which by the way is not provided. The battery is provided, but the charger is not. But most of us these days have some sort of USB charger. And what you can see there is all you do is just plug that in there and you get a little red light, let you know it's charging. Pretty cool, huh? So let's take a look at the head real quick before we pop it on there. You can see aluminum body, black coating over there. You have an acrylic lens. You have a smooth reflector down there, and you have the typical yellow looking emitter, or lack of better terms, the LED bulb. And it's a Cree XP-G2 LED, which should give you about 50,000 hours of life. So that's a nice long lasting bulb, as all LEDs are. They last a long time. So again, you have a gasket right in here, so that seals that side up, because this is waterproof to the IPX8 standard. So it is waterproof down to 6.5 feet. Alright, so there we go. It is you don't screw this all the way down, because you screw it tighter and it makes it light up. So let's go ahead and just talk about a couple of other things real quick, and then we'll go ahead and go through the modes and run times. This is also impact resistant to 1.5 meters, which is 5 feet. And again, this is aircraft grade aluminum, T6061, and I already went over the colors. This only weighs 0.4 ounces. The length of this flashlight's 1.6 inches and the diameter is 5 inches. Now this flashlight has two modes of operation, a high mode and a mid mode. It doesn't have a low mode, it has a middle mode and a high mode. So the way that you light this flashlight is you tighten the head up, and you just tighten it till it lights up, and that is the middle mode or medium mode, and that is 6 lumens for, I'm sorry, it is 8 lumens. Let me correct myself there. This is 8 lumens and it will last 6 hours. That's crazy. 6 hours in this tiny little flashlight. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so we can see the pattern real quick. So I sort of want you to see that. So you can see there's almost no flood to this flashlight in the mid mode. I mean, I can see a hint of a flood, but it looks mostly like a spot. There's no, there's no obvious artifacts there. But let's go ahead and crank this up. So you continue to turn it, and it goes into the high mode, and that is 130 lumens, and it could do this for 30 minutes on this charge. Now here, the flood is a little more obvious, but you still, that spot just dominates everything, as you can see there. The flood sort of it sort of fades off as it goes there, so it's not a very defined flood. But this is a keychain flashlight. That's its purpose, and it's meant just you're working or you're doing something, and you just want to put the light on the item that you want to see. Now, I want you to hear this. There is a little tactile kind of click in there. I'm going to bring this up to the mic. I don't know if you heard that, but between the mid and high modes, there is just a little bit of a tactile feel, and there's a little click. It's pretty hard to hear unless you have super hearing or you have it up to your ear. And then to turn it off, you just continue to loosen it. And what you want to do is, you see how it just cut off? You go from medium to off. As with most of these twisty types, any pressure will turn that on. What you want to do is continue to just turn it a little bit more. This way it's not going to come on. And it's still sealed up. You still have that gasket's still under that head, nice and secure. And we'll go downstairs real quick and we'll test to make sure that this is waterproof. Here we have a flash, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn it on to the medium mode. We'll go ahead and turn it on the high mode. And I'm going to go ahead and dunk it. There we go. Go ahead and swirl it around there a little bit. A little bit of a light show. And it looks like we are waterproof. Okay, now you're in the dark. We're in a room with all the lights off. I just want to see how well it lights up the room in the high mode. That is the medium mode, and there's the high mode, just bouncing the light off the ceiling. It's pretty good for emergencies if you have to light your room. Just remember, in the high mode, you're only going to get about 30 minutes, so you'll probably want to keep this in the medium mode, but it's still pretty usable. I could definitely find my way out of, let's say, a building in case the lights went out, there was an emergency or something like that, because that's where keychain lights are very important. They're always with you, so let's say if some sort of emergency or something happened and all lights go out and you have to get out of a space or a building or a house or a ship or whatever, and you need to see where you're going, unless you memorize the whole way out, which is a good thing to do as far as your home is concerned, by the way. This is great. This works very, very well. Alright, it's almost time to wrap things up. What I want to do is just open up the battery compartment and make sure there's no water leakage in there. Nope, it's perfectly dry, which is good. That means it stayed waterproof. So, I like everything about this flashlight. Definitely well worth $20 if you're interested in a stellar EDC keychain flashlight. I don't think you could beat this at all for the price of $21. This link is in the description box below. My only complaint with the whole thing is that you have to be careful with these screw type turning on off screw type heads, because if you just unscrew it till the light turns off and stop, any pressure on that head, and now it's going to make me a liar, there we go. Alright, like if I just go ahead and, here it is, I'm going to just turn it off, and see, so you got to make sure that you give it, I want to say, let's see, we'll go ahead and, it just turned off there. If we give it maybe that's about 1/8 of a turn, we're good to go. So make sure you turn about the head about 1/8 of a turn, and then you don't have to worry about it coming on, but it's not going to come off because you got to screw it that much more to get it off, which is almost a whole turn. Now I lost the head. Don't it figure? There we go. Oh. Alright. I'm being a little silly here, but we're keeping it real, This is, I'm not here just pitching products and saying, they're good, buy them. They're the best Ink6 lights where I click on my links and then I forget about you. I want to make sure we have good products here. So it does take about another half turn. So let me see. There we are. It just cut off. You can see it still touches it. I'm going to give it about a 1/8 of a turn. It's not on. And then let's see how much more it takes to get this thing to come off. It takes about a little over half a more turn for it to come off, so pretty good. And by the way, everything is, it's step. It's not going to turn by itself, but it is very smooth. So, I mean, it almost feels like there's a little bit of grease maybe on the threads, but there's not. So, they did a very good job of, with the threads. They feel like they're very well made, good quality. The whole thing feels like it's very nice quality. Even the printing on there, I don't know if you can see, it's done very well. Very good job. The knurling is nice. It doesn't feel cheap, put it that way, and it's definitely worth $21. Even I like the neck chain there. Looks pretty cool. You can wear it. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every fan, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.